MLS is coming to San Diego. But it ain't gonna be the San Diego Loyal. An ownership group led by Egyptian businessman Mohamed Mansour has paid the $500 million expansion fee to join MLS. If you don't know who this Mansour dude is, just know that he and his family are made of money. A quick Wikipedia search will show that his company, the Mansour Group, controls 9 of Egypt's top Fortune 500 companies, and he has close ties as distributors for several US companies as well. None of those, however, being the San Diego Loyal. This ownership group is completely independent from the Loyal, and if you're hoping that the two can come together, team up, and somehow, some way get San Diego Loyal into MLS, I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. And Loyal owner Andrew Vassiliadis knows this. A few weeks ago, he posted this message on social media platforms. They know MLS is coming, and they say they're not going anywhere. It gives off some very strong, you do you, I'ma do me vibes. I kinda dig that. Now, I've heard some people say, oh, this is just another case of MLS poaching USL markets again. Yeah, maybe it's just the MLS homer fanboy in me talking, but no, I have never bought into that mindset. Okay, yeah, there's been MLS expansion teams that have started in lower divisions before. You look at all the Cascadia teams, FC Cincinnati, Nashville SC, etc. But you guys do realize that all of those teams wanted to join MLS, right? That was their end goal. They all paid the high expansion fee, not the other way around. And yes, there have been completely new MLS expansion teams that have been in markets that were already inhabited by USL teams. You look at Atlanta, Charlotte, St. Louis. But I promise you, MLS accepted those bids not to stick it to USL or because they felt threatened by USL, but because those markets all had incredible potential with the stadium plan in place and an owner willing to shell out the big bucks. Yeah, breaking news, guys. Pro sports is a business. It's about making the most amount of money possible. And don't get me wrong, I would have loved to see San Diego Loyal be this expansion team. I think the existing fan base on top of the new wave of fans they would have gotten once they joined MLS, that would have been the best option. And selfishly, I just want to see Landon Donovan back in this league as an owner. I think that would have been so cool. As far as to why this didn't happen this way and why San Diego Loyal isn't the expansion team, I don't know. Maybe the Mansour Group couldn't work out a deal with them. Maybe the Mansour Group didn't want to work out a deal with them. Just because there is a team already in the market does not mean MLS is obligated to use them. I know that sucks to hear, but that's how business works. And we will find out if this is a good business decision by how many people actually show up to watch this team. Were they denied entry? Or did they just not have $500 million lying around? If there were any kind of negotiations between San Diego Loyal and MLS, I doubt they got very far, because absolutely nothing got leaked out in the public. That doesn't happen very often. Someone always spills the beans. And come to think of it, did you hear a lot of Loyal to MLS campaigns going on? Because I sure didn't. Yeah, San Diego Loyal, they do have a lot going for them. An academy, an established fan base. They probably just didn't have the moolah. Does that mean MLS screwed them over? I mean, you can hate the way MLS does things, but it's literally how they've always done it. Because at this point, we know expansion fees are only rising, and we know people are still going to be willing to pay it. That's not going to change. Now here's the thing. I made a video a few years ago, MLS for the Lou, what happens to St. Louis FC? I'm going to do something that conventional wisdom tells YouTubers not to do, and tell you guys, don't bother with that one. You can skip that video. That video aged like milk. Basically, I asked the question, what's going to happen to St. Louis FC, and is that market going to be able to handle both an MLS team and a lower division team at the same time? What I failed to recognize is that the CEO of St. Louis FC, Jim Kavanaugh, was also a minority owner in the new MLS team, St. Louis City. So Sloan hit in 2020, shut the whole country down, and because of the financial impact of it all, St. Louis FC was forced to fold. But what I think, and keyword here is think, I am not presenting this as facts, so don't sue me. What I think is that Sloan was just a convenient out for this team. I think they were going to fold no matter what, because Jim Kavanaugh already had his eyes set on St. Louis City, and he probably thought, what's the purpose of holding on to this lower division team when I've got MLS coming in a few years? Now, the reason I am bringing this all up is to circle back to San Diego, where this will not be the case, because as far as we all know, no one from San Diego Loyal is affiliated with the new MLS expansion project. And all of the owners of San Diego Loyal have said multiple times that they plan on keeping this team alive. They plan on keeping this train running, which I think is awesome, and I am totally in support of. But it sure as hell won't be easy, because USL teams don't have a great record of surviving after an MLS team comes to the market. I already mentioned St. Louis FC, they were a thing, and now they're not anymore. The Austin Bold were a thing, and now they're not anymore. Charlotte Independence were a thing, and they still are. However, they did move down to USL 1 after Charlotte FC started playing, and I gotta be honest, I don't know how much longer they got left. So is it possible? Can it work? Yeah, absolutely. Miami FC is still a thing after all, even after Inter Miami came to town a couple years ago. And San Diego is a city of 1.3 million people. It's the 8th biggest city in the US, certainly large enough to host more than one soccer team. Plus, the San Diego Loyal is not currently experiencing any kind of attendance dip amid this MLS news. People are still passionate about this team. That's a good thing. Listen, I want MLS in San Diego to explode and be extremely popular. And I want San Diego Loyal to be extremely popular as well. I really believe there is a universe that exists where both teams are thriving. And I think that universe could be the one we're in now. All right, here we go. People of San Diego, listen up. Here it is, my hot take, the thing that's gonna get me canceled from this video. You ready? You will not be able to support both the San Diego Loyal and this MLS team.
Oh, try me, bitch.
You can try. You can have the best intentions on trying to support both teams, but it's not going to work. How do I know? From experience. Ah, yes, the Chicago House. Remember them? Their first season being in 2021 in Nisa. I thought, oh, awesome. Another pro team in Chicago. Hopefully this one won't be a total dumpster fire like the Fire. I'm all in. I wasn't all in. I wanted to be, but I was already too invested in the Fire. And when a lot of the games overlapped, I found myself picking the Fire every time. I watched one Chicago House game, and then never again. I just couldn't keep up with them. Inevitably, there will be one team that will capture your attention more, and you are better off putting all your support on that one team than trying to pretend like you really care about both. And who San Diego residents decide to support, whether it's the MLS side, San Diego Loyal, or hell, even Albion San Diego, I haven't even mentioned them yet. Whatever. There's not a wrong answer here. Maybe the best option is to attend matches of all three teams and then make up your mind there. Maybe you like the huge crowd, crazy atmosphere of the MLS game, or maybe you like the team with a little more history that's a little more local, like San Diego Loyal. Okay, I know, the Saquon tribe, they've been here for like 12,000 years. They also are part owners of the MLS team. But as far as the main buyer, Mohamed Mansour, he's an Egyptian who lives in London, and he even said during the announcement that he was scouring the world for this kind of opportunity. He's definitely not a local guy. That, to me, doesn't matter. Soccer's a global sport. I wanted to keep growing in this country, and I think he's going to help out. But maybe you're not like me. Maybe being local does matter to you. Or maybe it just comes down to branding. I mean, me personally, not that you asked, but I don't love the name Loyal. But God, at least it's not another FC. Can we please get some creativity here? Please!
We feel like we want to be either San Diego football clubs, or should we put the football first? Should it be Football Club of San Diego, like FC San Diego?
So here's what's going to happen, Loyal fans. Your attendance will take a dip in the beginning. I know it hasn't yet, but once the MLS team arrives, there will be people who say, "Loyal till I die," and then we'll jump ship faster than you can blink. I'm sorry, people just suck like that. There will also be a lot of people, not just in the media, but fans as well, who will pretend like San Diego Loyal doesn't even exist, or they will just turn their noses up at you. I'm sorry, but again, people just suck like that. Now, to combat all of this, you guys need to be ready to make some noise. And I'm not trying to say that you guys don't do a great job already. I mean, I've seen a lot of the social media posts. It looks like you guys are heavily involved in the community. That's awesome. But it's going to have to be more, because once this MLS team arrives, being good on the field and having a decent attendance, that might not be enough. Just look at the Save the Crew movement. They bought billboards, they got tons of sponsors, they were constantly in the community. I know this is a little different because there's not any news of San Diego Loyal folding or relocating right now, but I would still look at that movement, if nothing else, for motivation and proof that the supporters can make a difference and bring people together. And then, one day, it'll happen. San Diego MLS will face off against San Diego Loyal in the US Open Cup. And here is where you will need to bring everything you have. Even if that game is at Snapdragon, you need to outdraw the MLS side. You need that stadium to be painted Tory green. And that will be the exclamation point and definitive proof that you are here to stay. With this announcement, there seems to be more cynicism than normal with everyone. And that's because people were attached to San Diego Loyal, and they kind of felt like they got screwed over in this situation. Now, that's a pretty good sign that people are going to be willing to help the cause and do whatever it takes to keep this team here. I don't think an MLS team coming is going to signal the doom for San Diego Loyal. And if I look into my crystal ball, if I see into the future 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road, San Diego Loyal is still going to be a thing.